Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, I'm sitting here looking at this new book I got on Rothko. Rothko's one of my favorite artists, and he's been really inspiring me to paint lately. He did a lot of famous paintings in the 50s and 60s that were like color-filled paintings. Some of you may be familiar with him. He does a lot of this modern abstract art, which I really love it. His artwork, people look and say, well, that's simple, anybody can do it. But actually, I've been working with painting lately, and I'm telling you, to do a Rothko painting, there's a lot that you got to know about color and the medium that you work in, and his paintings are actually very complex. On the surface, they look simple, but as you study them, you start to realize that the levels of color and layer upon layer, and he really had a technique that made his stuff just very beautiful. Look at that. There's almost kind of a haunting feeling I get whenever I look at Rothko's. They're so beautiful and colorful. Anyways, we're going to be having more about my painting. As many of you know, I have been doing painting, and I'm going to show you some of my works in the coming days as I get some more paintings finished. So, anyways, I've just been getting my inspiration today looking at this Rothko book. Look at these beautiful aqua colored one. It's beautiful, and this deep black gray. Oh, it's so mystical. I just really like his stuff. Anyways, speaking of colorful things, I'll have to show you guys another thing that I recently got. Yes, many of you know last week I did a video about my shrine to Mother Mary, and I just love the Blessed Mother, you know. Well, I just got a new medal, which is a vintage medal, but it's new to me. But it's done in color. Isn't that gorgeous? It's rare to find these miraculous metals in color. Usually they're made of metal, like silver or gold or some type of aluminum. But this one is done in it's like a glass coating over a colorful image. It's Our Lady of Grace. Isn't that wonderful? Anyways, I've been into color lately, so I've been thinking about color and drawing colorful things. And anyways, well, you know, here we are, and today it is Tuesday. I don't know what day it is. All the days blur together. But the one thing that Psychic Bob does know is that it's time for messages from the spirit world. And for those of you who are new, this is something we do every week. We gather and I pull a bunch of letters and we see what the spirit world has. So if you're new here, just listen up. You'll learn how it all goes. And I like to say, listen to all the letters, because even if your letter doesn't get drawn, Spirit could work through somebody else's letter to give you insight or give you an answer. And that's really how it works, because, from the Spirit side, they want to help as many people as they can. They also know that I'm very limited, as I'm only one person, and I get hundreds of letters a week. So, they try to draw to me letters that will help more than one person many times. So definitely listen up. But I thank you for being here. Thanks for your patience, your understanding. I know so many of you have been sending me letters. I'm sorry it's right now hard for me to personally write back to everybody. But I do get your letters. I do read them, and I do thank you. And I'm praying for all of you. I always keep candles at my altar, and I light for you guys. And I'll show more of that to you in the coming days as well. But here we are. It's time for messages from the spirit world. So we're going to sit down and see what the Spirit has for you. So I want you guys to just join with me. Let's just get all centered. We're going to settle down, close our eyes for a moment. Let's just attune to the spirit world. Okay, I hear my trusty spirit guy Fletcher back here. He's always over my shoulder talking to me. Well, we're going to jump into our letters. So let's see who we got here. Our first letter today is from Wicked Dreams. Hello, Wicked Dreams. Wicked Dreams says, Psychic Bob, why do I have such bad luck with dating? I've had more flings than anything. It seems that guys seem to lose interest fast. Hi, Wicked Dreams. Well, first of all, I'm sorry that you're going through this. This is very difficult. There's that saying, the true course of love never does run smoothly. And I think that's true. It takes time to build a relationship. You know, you have to tell you, to be honest with you, when I step into your frequency, what I pick up around you is some dark blue light and some pink light. Dark blue light tells me that you're feeling a little withdrawn, that there's a little bit of depression going on. And I think it's even occurred before this recent experience. Pink light tells me that you're healing on the emotional level from the current situation, but I feel like there's still wounds from several years ago that are healing. And one of the things that I want you to focus on right now is self-love. I know that you have a heart that's a good heart, and you want to give love to people and bring them into your world and have a relationship that is truly blessed. And I do see that for your future, by the way. So let me get that out of the way. Yes, you will be in a better relationship. Actually, in terms of timing, it looks like it's not going to be till about September of this year. But once you get into September, I do see a steady relationship that I feel grows to a long-term, loving, stable, committed relationship, okay? So it's going to be a little while. But until then, one of the things that I feel that's going to help you be better prepared for that is I want you to learn to value yourself and to love yourself. Now, you might say, well, say, Bob, I'm happy with myself. Yes, on the surface you are. But deeper within, part of you has a void. Part of you has closed off letting people come close. And I don't say that to be at all critical. I say that in a loving way because it's a natural thing. You've been hurt and you've actually built a wall against people coming close to you. And so, like, when you talk about these, relationships that just seem to be flings rather than committed relationships, part of that comes from that you're holding back letting people in. And I also think that you're confusing intimacy with love. Now, let me clarify that they're two different things. Sometimes people feel that if we have an intimate experience, maybe a sexual experience, it doesn't have to be full sex, but instant, like we're so close, that somehow that equates to a long-term stability. And for many people, what happens is they go into that place and then they go, oh my God, I've opened up too much, I've given too much of myself, and they pull back. I think because you're actually a very sensitive and actually you're very psychic too, I was going to tell you that, you actually feel a connection with people very quickly because you're able to go to the depths of their being. I think that you also have the power that you bring people into that place, but they're people that are not ready to be in that level of profound connectedness. And so they get scared and they're like, oh, I don't know what happened. This is a case of you being an older soul. And you're drawing to yourself souls that are on the edge of growth, but they're not quite there. And so what you want to do is focus on, first of all, loving yourself and allowing yourself to, one, let down the barriers. But not only let down the barrier, to let down the barrier with the wisdom that you bring into yourself, somebody who's ready for that. And what I mean by that is you want to work on drawing older souls to yourself. Now, that doesn't necessarily equate to physical age being older. They could be the same age or even younger. But an older soul has wisdom, and they can do the mind-to-mind connection and totally get it. And this is where, why you've been having challenges. It's because it's not that you're cursed or that you're evil. It's that you're bringing people in, and you actually, because you have so much power, you're opening them. But they're opening prematurely, and then they get scared. So actually what you're doing is you're actually helping people to find their higher self, but it's happening too quickly. And that's what's causing the conflict around you. And so I also want to encourage you, if you do want to go on dates, try to, and this is going to be the hard part, try to be observant, but not give your whole energy too quickly. Now, I know that contradicts what I just said about opening the veil and letting people in. It's two different processes here. One is you want to open yourself at the right time to let people in. What's happening is you're letting people in quickly before you've even established a kind of just a logic mind-to-mind contact. Because there's mind-to-mind contact and then there's heart-to-heart. And what's happening is you're bypassing the mind-to-mind, going straight to the heart. which is actually for you because you're an older soul, you can do that, but younger souls, that confuses them. Okay? And I mean this in a good way because I think you're a great person. I don't think this is all anything you're trying to do, but I want you to understand how the processes go for most of the world. As older souls, and I'm an older soul, we're kind of outside that process, so we have to kind of learn it all over again. And so you want to start with just mind to mind. Keep it light, chit chat. Slowly you bring them in closer to your mental process before you open the heart. But by the time you open the heart, you've established a contact that will allow them to be at that same place. So it's a timing thing also. So anyways, I also would like you to work with the gemstone rose quartz. I feel that will be very healing and very helpful for you. And I'll help you to be aware of that energy between the mind and the heart. Okay? I hope that gives you a little insight. But I do see around the end of August, beginning of September, as where you'll enter into a new relationship. Okay? Blessings to you. Thanks for writing. All right, our next letter is AK 1992 Nation. I don't know if that's Alaska or just AK. Anyway, I like that. AK 1992 Nation. They write, said, Bob, may I have a mini psychic reading? I would very, 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 three varies, much appreciate it and be forever more grateful than I already am for you. I love you. Blessings. Oh, thank you, AK. I have to tell you, when I step into your frequency here, I'm getting around you a lot of beautiful blue light. I love blue light. Blue light means that you draw power from the throat chakra, and it means that you have a communicator theme here, okay? So I feel like, as you're working on like focus with career, I want you to think in terms of communications. I keep getting radio and TV energy around you, and I feel like you're meant to be kind of out in front, sharing ideas, being seen, okay? There's a word, or a lady who keeps talking in my ear. I keep getting words from her. Her name is Betsy. It's interesting. She's dressed in like 1930s clothing. She has a hat on. She's very smart. She has a little notepad with a pen. And she said, is this on the record or off the record? She's trying to tell me that she's a news reporter. She has a connection with media. I believe she was like a radio reporter in the 1930s and would cover stories. But she's around you, and she says she's opening doors of opportunity. I want you to watch the month of March. It looks like this will be a turning time for you. And I see around March some career opportunities, some people entering your life that may offer you a job or give you connections to media in some way. So I hope that makes some sort of sense to you. I also get that you're at a process right now of there's some emotional healing around you. And I have to tell you, when I step into the love sector, I want to say don't give up. The words keep coming, don't give up. There's a person around you that I feel that is drawn to you and you're drawn to them. What's interesting is I feel like you're actually opening your higher self right now. Like the reader before, the letter before you, I feel like you're an older soul. And I feel like that in this relationship energy, this other person, I get a male around you, I feel like they're just a little younger. So they're just now starting to kind of discover themselves. And your power is a little overwhelming for them. Give them some time, because I keep seeing the beginning of August as a transition point. And I feel that around August, this person wants to kind of reconnect with you. So I don't feel that this is over. I don't feel that it's run its course. I feel that you're in a holding pattern energetically as far as relationship. And in August, it looks like there's some new doors opening, okay? New beginning. Anyways, I hope that gives you a little insight. Talk to your spirit guide, Betsy. She's working with you, okay? Blessings to you. Thanks for writing. All right. Our next letter is from Alexis Williams. Hi, Psychic Bob. Can you tell me who my spirit guide is? Hi, Alexis. I'm getting around you. A lady keeps talking. I'm hearing a voice, and she keeps saying, my name is Amanda. And she says, I'm a witch. Now, don't let that scare you. She's a good witch. She's a powerful, magical person. But Amanda is her name. She's around you, and it looks like she's teaching you how to access your psychic self, your spiritual self. And this Amanda wants you to explore magic with her. She says, I can teach her magic. I can teach her spell casting. And she keeps literally, like, it's funny, she's throwing in the air glitter, like silver glitter. But as it's falling, like sprinkling glitter, it forms silver pentacles in the air around you. So she's putting magic power on you, but her name is Amanda, and she's your spirit guide, okay? I hope that helps. Thanks for writing. All right, our next letter is from Ash. Hello, Ash. Ash writes, Hi, Bob. I'm new to your channel, but I love your videos. Thank you, Ash. That's very kind. Do you have any messages for me from the spirit world? Hold on a second. I'm losing my voice here, Ash. You know, Ash, when I'm walking into your frequency here, I'm getting around you here silver and yellow light. Really good color. Silver light means that you're coming into a time of greater prosperity. I feel like there's some issues around money here that are coming for you. Fletcher says to tell you not to worry. He said more money is coming to you. I want you to watch because it looks like it'll be like a little later in the spring here, closer to around May, but May seems to be a turning point financially for you. I'm also picking up here around you a spirit guide that I keep getting. And I keep getting this lady. She's an angelic being, beautiful angel in like silver robes. She's literally like 12 feet tall. And she says that she's a member of the Arcturian. She says, I'm Arcturian. So she's actually an alien, but she's angelic at the same time. The Arcturians have a branch that are very ascended, like ascended masters. But she's around you. And I keep hearing the name Lynn, but she spells it L-I-N, not L-Y-N. L-I, she's Lynn, L-I-N. She says, I'm Lynn, and I'm an Arcturian master. She said that her actual name is more complex, but she wants to use a simplified form of it. So Lynn is her name. She's around you. I keep hearing her say to tell you, she said, yes, she says, I'm helping them to awaken. It looks like you're coming into a time of discovering your own inner channeling gifts as well. So this summer for you really looks like it's a time of whole integration. I have to tell you, when I step into your frequency and I go back like a year back here, I feel like over this last year, there's been a lot of kind of waiting. It's almost like you feel out of place in some way. But Lynn keeps saying, she said, we're bringing them into wholeness. So from May forward, you're really going to see this manifest in terms of greater financial opportunity, maybe some education, because I'm getting this yellow light, almost like I'm learning. I feel there are skills, particularly in the metaphysical area, that you're learning. So you might want to kind of explore joining like a metaphysical church or a spiritual church to learn more about your own psychic gifts. But the Arcturians seem to be interested in you, and I do feel that they're going to bring messages through you, okay? So let me know how this next few months goes. Thanks for writing. I hope that helps. All right, our next letter is from Credit Millionaire. Hello, Credit Millionaire. Credit Millionaire says, Bob, what are your thoughts on those who are not spiritual, those who are on a darker path, knowingly or unknowingly, or just have not been born of the Spirit? Well, you know, Credit Millionaire, I have to tell you, in this case, I'm going to let you know what my spirit guides say, because they've actually shared with me about this. And one of the things is that they always have told me is that you either do your work in this world or you'll be doing it in the next. Nobody actually ever escapes having to deal with their spiritual self or deal with the light. Now, let me clarify something. When you talk about people on a darker path, there are two types of darkness, and this is something that I like to explain. There is good darkness and there is evil darkness, just as there is good light and evil light. And so somebody who's drawn to, for example, Gothic subculture, may not necessarily be evil or ominous. They may have a profound spirituality that manifests in darker, manifestations, but not necessarily evil. And so, but I assume here you're talking about people, as you said, who are not spiritual, who are not born of the light, who have no interest in higher things. Because we are humans, we have free will. And these people will do what they will do. Now, we as light workers don't particularly have to be in agreement with it or support it. But those who are on the darker paths are not spiritual, they eventually will have to come to a point where they will have to confront that reality. Because the truth is, we are all spiritual beings, whether we know it or not. In the spiritualist church, I was always taught, in the saying in one of our statements is, the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul, here or hereafter. So eventually you will have to come around and face that which is lacking in you, because all of us ultimately come from spirit, and ultimately all of us will return to spirit. Now, how you go there or get there is your choice, and some people choose the hard path. As you know, my spirit guide, Alfred, he was actually very much interested in the path of spirituality, and then he abandoned it and became a drug addict and an alcoholic and died totally devoid of any beliefs. Now, what's interesting is when he died, he went to the dark realms. And all of his previous work, it's kind of like he threw it in the wastebasket. So he had to kind of start from where he was, which was in a place of darkness. Now, Alfred, as you know, or maybe you don't know, but he's come through and he's now working as a guide. So eventually he had to leave that purgatorial state. And I think a lot of people who are not born of the Spirit, right now we're seeing a lot of that, and a lot of that is being indoctrinated because there is a false myth going on that to be intelligent, to be intellectual, you must renounce spirituality. But anybody who really studies spirituality knows that if you renounce spirituality, and I'm not talking about religion, they're two different things. Spirituality deals with the core self. You're renouncing part of who you are, because all people at their core are spiritual beings. So you can't ever really get away from it. So you can denounce it, deny it, walk away from it, be an atheist, but eventually you will die and you will go into the spirit world. And you'll have that awakening, like, oh, wow, now what do? I'm really alive beyond the grave. How is this happening? And that will start them on their journeys. I think it's sad when people wait to that point to begin, because it's much harder. This world is made for our soul to learn and to grow. And when people don't take advantage of it, they only hurt themselves. So, as I said, people that are not born of the Spirit, that are not of the spiritualists, I don't necessarily think are evil. I think they're unenlightened. And I think because of that, they ultimately will have a more difficult time on their journey in the eternal sense. So, anyways, I hope that gives a little insight. Good questions. Thanks for writing. All right. Well, guys, those are letters. Now, don't go away, because now we're at the part of our show. I have a new part called Spirit Shoutouts. And these are just messages that come to me. Sometimes people will write me a letter. It has nothing to do with messages from the spirit world, but something comes through, and I have to capture. So I've written down some notes of people that just wrote about other things, not necessarily questions, and stuff came through for them. My first spirit shout out today is for David Govett. Hi, David. I hope you're seeing this. David, when I picked up your message here, one of the things that I saw around was flashes of bright orange light here. You have an artist theme and a performer theme that I see manifesting around you. And I feel over this next year, a lot of creative energy will be around you, and I definitely focus on anything connected to the arts, performance, communication, media. Okay, I also picked up a lady talking to me in my ear. This is a grandmother here. I believe it was on your father's side of the family. Forgive me if I got that wrong. It may be mother's, but I'm going to initially say grandfather, or on your father's side, your father's mother. I kept getting a woman coming through, and she's like, I'm with him. Just tell him I'm here. And she said, tell him to get going, get going. I got the sense from her that there was like you've been hesitating on something, and she's like, just tell him to get up and get going. So don't be afraid. Spirit wants you to move forward and follow those changes. And if you can incorporate what I was saying earlier, I think that's going to bring some real blessing to you this year, okay? Anyways, I know it's a little strange, but that's what I got. Got to give it to you. Hope it helps. Blessings to you. Okay, I got another shout out here for Wanda Schilling. Hello, Wanda. You know, Wanda, I have to tell you, when I saw your letter, I kept getting bright gold light coming off of it. And Spirit said to me that it's your time to shine. And they said apply for many jobs. It looks like where you are in terms of work, there may be some delay moving forward. Your light is brighter than where you are, and it's like Spirit is calling you into a new path now. So I feel like there's some change coming. It feels like it's outside of your work, and I keep seeing the month of March as a turning point. Looks like there could be a new job coming, but definitely you've got golden light, which means it's your time to shine, have success. And Fletcher's over here throwing gold and silver coins, means prosperity. There's more money for you in a new job come March. Thanks for writing. All right, our next shout out is for Krista Roman. Hello, Krista. Krista's my Gucci twin. She always loves Gucci, and we buy some of our Gucci products. You know, Krista, I have to tell you, first of all, thanks for always being here. I had this man come to me this morning. His name was Danzor. I had to write it down, Danzor. He said, I'm Danzor, and he was dressed like a classical wizard, you know, long kind of purple robes with stars on it and a pointed hat. And he held up a big wheel. It was spinning, and I couldn't see it. And when the wheel slowed down, it was an astrology wheel. And Dancer said, he said, I'm calling her back to the stars, to connect with the stars. And he says to tell you it's time to pick up your astrology tools. And so he handed me like a bag, and it had an astrology wheel in it and like a compass and calculator. And he's like saying, he said, we want her to cast from the stars. So you have a gift for working with horoscopes. And Danzor says it's time to go back to your gifts of astrology and pick those up. You're going to bless a lot of people. Anyways, hope that makes some sense. He just popped in. I had to give it. Well, guys, listen, I am so glad you're here. Thank you for being here today. Listen, if you want to help Psychic Bob out, and I always need help, make sure to like this video. Please like it, favorite it, share it with your friends. Put this up anywhere you want. You can put it on your website. You can put it on Facebook. I don't mind if you post my video anywhere you like to. But, you know, do that, and that will help me keep on YouTube, so to speak. And if you also want to help me out, you know, stop over to my website, check it out. I'll put the link below, robert-hickman.com. It'll be in the info box. I have a bookstore there. You can go over there and get my books and get your spiritual reading. We got Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom there. We've got Ouija Mysteries, the Spirit Board Seances. And we've got Messages from Rose and a few others. So definitely pop over there, check out my books. You guys are the best. I love you. Listen, keep it here at Spirit Channel. We always got more coming. What's tomorrow? Wednesday. Wiccan Wednesday. You don't want to miss it. We're going to talk about the mystical chalice tomorrow. We'll see you back here. And until then, may you always blessed be.